Hey, it's Mark here, and on behalf of the Rebels, today we want to talk a little bit about productivity. And this isn't going to be your standard sort of boring post on, how to get up in the morning and sing three mantras to yourself and, pump yourself up for the day. No, this is about real, holistic results for real people facing the real distractions we all do in this day and age. So you're looking at my computer screen right now. It's pretty blank. It's pretty boring. And that's how I kind of like it. Okay, so if we look down here, you're going to see my email client is closed. I have three web browsers. Only one of them is actually open. Everything else is pretty much closed. Sure, I've got iTunes open because, yeah, I like to listen to some tunes while I work. Everything else, Skype is turned off. QuickTime's on because that's what I'm using to record this. But that's pretty much it. And what we're getting down to is this whole concept that's floating around online right now, which I really disagree with, is, outwork your competition. Outwork your competition, and you will get better results. Well, I disagree. It's easy to say that you worked 18 hours yesterday. I would challenge someone to say, how much actually did you get done? So I would rather just get more done than my competition. And face it, the reason most people look into a business online is so that they can have more time and then they can have more freedom. And it comes down to productivity. We're not sort of scheduled or forced to schedule ourselves when we work from home as we would be forced to at a job. So it comes down to that productivity. In this day and age, with Facebook, with social media, with email notifications, with smartphones going off, we are distracted all the time. So somebody that says they put in 18 hours yesterday, well, good for them, but how many times during that day did they respond to PMs, check their Skype, check their Facebook, hang about on social media? What I'm talking about is simply getting lots accomplished in a very short amount of time. And for me, that comes down to 2 1-hour blocks per day. That's it. Yes, I do other stuff during the day. And yes, I am productive during the day. But for 2 1-hour blocks, I am 1,000% focused on what has to happen. And what that means is during those times, my screen looks like this. Everything's shut down. I'm logged out on my email, I'm logged out of my Facebook, I'm logged out of any social media. My smartphone, if it's not off, is in another room with the volume off because I can't be tempted by the little notification light that goes on. We all see that. We see a little flashing light and we need to hit it. I mean, so that's just how it goes. Get that out of your mind for 1 hour twice a day, and you will be amazed at what you can get done. And what I'm talking about is in 1 hour, with this kind of focus, you can actually accomplish what most people might not get done in an entire day. And that's not an exaggeration. That's absolutely the truth. So it's a simple exercise to try to implement twice a day. Here's what you do. You log out of all of your social media. You close down your email client. If you have, like I do, multiple monitors, you're only working off one. You have only one internet browser open and a maximum of 3 screens allowed or 3 tabs allowed because you only need to be using 3 to get what you're doing done. You tell me you need 10 tabs open and I'm going to tell you that you're distracting yourself. So focus on what you have to do. The next point, really, really simple, and for this we will bring up the only browser I have open. This is what you're working on right now. One focused task list with no more than 3 things you can complete in 1 hour. So for this hour, you have one project with 1,000% focus. Maximum of 3 things you're going to get done. At the end of this hour, you should be mentally tired and need a break. But by the end of that hour, you'll have accomplished more than most people will get done in 4 hours or more. I can absolutely guarantee you that. Shut it all down. Turn off all the distractions. This is the age of distraction, and this is how we have to sort of focus ourselves. Now, how do we look forward to this? Well, you could be altruistic and say to yourself, well, I'm getting so much done. That's great. No, we need little rewards. Okay, so let's just scroll down a little bit. I don't like to overwhelm on one screen. Maximum 3 points. So after this hour of work, you can reward yourself with a little break. I recommend a little fresh air. I recommend, like if you're really into the social media, sure, check in, respond to some PMs if that's your thing. Get yourself a snack, get outside. That's what I like to do. But face it, the work then treat method is a successful model. It's worked for years. It's how people bring up their kids in the school program. They go to school, they have a couple hours of classes, they get recess. They have another hour of class, they get lunch. They have a little bit more time in class, they get gym. This works. Work and then a little break. Work and then change it up. For a very quick example of how this works, just last night, I had a copy client of mine contact me. I put together this project for him. Everything was going great. He realized he'd forgotten something fairly major that he needed, like right away. And this is something that would normally have taken me 3 to 4 hours to accomplish. And he needed it, and he's a great client. I shut everything down, turned everything off, and knocked out what would normally take me close to 4 hours in about 1.5 hours. This is achievable. That's what focus is. And then, yeah, sure, I gave myself a treat. Went for a walk, and then I had a beer, before I went to bed because I stayed up a little bit later than I normally would. But that's how this goes. It's really, really easy to get a whole lot done. You're no longer outworking your competition. You're just getting more done than them. And in this way, you are building your business so much faster. So really, really important. We could take this to another level where one of the probably of the people that I know, the one guy that is maybe the most prolific product creator, prolific product launcher in the last 10 years, he takes it to the point where he only replies to email twice a day at pre-subscribed times. So he will only say between 10 and 11, I'm going to check and reply to, I'll check all my emails and I'll reply to the urgent ones. And I'll do it again at 3 to 4. So people that know him realize that if they email him at noon, they're not going to hear back until sometime between 3 and 4. Or possibly not till the next day, because that's how he works. He's just like, you know what? This email isn't maybe the most important thing in my day. And this is the thing. I'm not saying to structure your entire day like this. I'm not trying to change your life. All I'm suggesting is that for only two super productive hours of your day, you focus yourself 1,000% on the task at hand. And you'll notice that I mentioned a couple of times just talking about 3 things at once, and that is going to be the topic of our next little session on why this is so important, how it can simplify your life, and how you can get a whole lot more done by following that method. So for now, let's get out of this. Let's close that down because I got work to do. But thanks for tuning in, and remember, you don't have to outwork them. You just got to get more done than them.